Hey, it's Howard Neller. Welcome to another episode of The Listening Chair. We got a good one for you today. Today we're at GTT Audio in New Jersey. GTT is the U.S. distributor of Vivid Audio from South Africa, and we're going to visit with Dick Diamond and Bill Parish of both of GTT. They're going to take us through some of what's going on with the Vivid speakers, take us through some of the model lines, and it's going to be a great tour. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, let us know what you're thinking. We'd love to hear from you. And without any further ado, let's start the tour.
Hi, Bill Parish from GTT Audio, and welcome today, Howard. We really appreciate you showing up and making us part of your channel.
Thank you, Bill.
As you know, in January of this year, we were appointed the U.S. distributor of Vivid. So as we host this press event over the next 5 days, that is the main feature of the show. But we do have some other great surprises and some other great brands as we take you around.
So let me ask you, just without going into a lot of detail, what other brands do you have here?
So we're featuring what we distribute here, and what we retail as well. We do both. And so we're going to do Vivid Audio. You're going to hear Mola Mola. You're going to hear Kronos Audio, True Life Audio out of Greece. Every single system is wired with Kubala-Sosna.
Hi, I'm Dick Diamond with GTT Audio. I handle the distribution arm of our company, the importation arm, and work with the wonderful dealers here in the U.S. Today I wanted to start with the Vivid Audio Kaya series of speakers. Their smallest speaker is called the S12. S12 because it's 12 liters of internal volume. And from this speaker, we start working our way up to larger speakers. So the next model up in the line is the Kaya K25. And this is a two-way speaker with a very unique shape and footprint to it. Boy, does this speaker sound just huge and dynamic. Lots of fun. Next speaker up in the line is the Kaya 45, or the K45, referring to its internal volume. This one looks similar to the smallest speaker we talked about, but you have a woofer on each side of the enclosure. And so it produces deeper, more extended bass, and even opens up the dynamic range a little bit.
I just wanted to mention, we'll give prices down in the comments, but as far as the K25, that's I guess an $11,000 speaker, you were saying, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll give away kind of the prize a little bit before we even listen to it, but it really presented a lot of performance for the $11,000. So, but we'll hear those in a bit.
Picking up from where Dick left off, we have the Kaya 90. This is the flagship model in the Kaya line. As you can see, it's a three-way. You have a tweeter, a mid-range, and 2 woofers on each side. A total of 4 woofers. It's quite the speaker.
What are we talking about as far as the retail price, Bill?
$28,000.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know anything under $30,000 that can play like this. Okay. And then we come into the Gia line, and this is the Gia G3 Mark Series 2. And with that, I'll let Ewald pick this up.
Okay. My name is Ewald Verkerk. I'm working for 2 companies. I'm the worldwide sales director for Vivid Audio and for Mola Mola. And as it is very interesting for me to have Bill at GTT Audio representing both brands for us, I took the plane here,
And you came from where?
I came from the Netherlands.
Okay, well,
Yes.
thanks for coming all the
In
way.
Europe.
Thanks for coming all the way from just to make this video. We appreciate that.
Yes. It's,
So what do we have here now?
well, here we have a bespoke colored Vivid Audio G3, the Gia series. And for most people, the question comes, K90 versus a similar sized Gia, what's the difference? The difference is in the mid-range. When you look at the D50 mid-range,
Okay.
it has the world's most clarifying soundstage that you will ever hear in a dynamic loudspeaker, versus the slightly more focused, larger mid-range on the K90. So that is a basic difference between the two speakers. Series 2 of the Gia means that we have tightened up our act, and you'll be astonished when we play it.
What's the difference in the price in the two speakers?
$28,000 and $43,000.
Okay. And as you said, we're using the Mola Mola electronics, and
Well, we're using the Mola Mola electronics for the front end.
Right.
Both the Lupe, which is a world premiere here, the Lupe Phono Stage, and the Mola Mola Tambaki DAC.
so now we have someone who's going to speak about the cables that are behind the systems.
Hi, Joe Kubala from Kubala-Sosna. Thanks for having us here.
Absolutely.
We just listened to a system in the other room, in room number 4, that was a combination of Temptation in the middle of our series and Emotion, which was our original flagship. This is room 3, and we have in this room basically an Elation system, and Elation became our flagship after the Emotion series. And then in the other 2 rooms, we're going to hear our current flagship. In the case of room 2, in combination with Elation, Realization is the newest flagship. And in room number 1, the big system, it's all Realization. Price points go from roughly $1,500 for a meter for Temptation up to $11,000 for a meter in Realization.
Awesome. Well, again, letting the cat out of the bag, I can tell you I've heard some great sounds so far today.
Well, we're now in the 3rd room of our tour, our Vivid Audio tour. This is, we call it actually room 3 or studio. In this room, we've got a step up in the Gia loudspeakers. This is the Gia G2 Series 2 speaker, second from the top of the line. And oh my goodness, it's a great speaker. What could you add to that, Ewald?
Well, it actually inspired us, the G2 as a speaker inspired us to go further with the original G1, and that became the spirit which we will visit later on in this tour. So to me and many, the G2 probably is the best speaker in the world. Yeah. Fairly inexpensive for the results you can achieve with the speaker. Many people even call it small, although it can be quite imposing. But yes, listen to a G2 and be spoiled forever.
And what's the price tag on that?
The G2 is $55,000, I believe.
Yeah, very good.
And I should introduce the electronics that we're using in this room. So, of course, we start with the sources. Of course, we're going to be using the great Mola Mola Tambaki DAC, like you've seen in all of the other rooms almost. And then we are using a most interesting set of electronics that we just fell in love with. It's a company called TLA, True Life Audio. They're from Greece, and they have a 2-box preamp, line stage power supply. And then those go into a pair of mono amps from TLA. Those are these devices here.
Okay.
And they're actually a hybrid amplifier. They have a tube power supply, tube rectification, tube, pre-driver stage
Right.
with bipolar solid state outputs. And I'm telling you, it gives you all the lusciousness of the best of tubes, three-dimensionality, liquid presentation. But at the same time, the sound is tight and firm in the bass. It's coherent from top to bottom, which not all hybrid, amplifiers were in past years.
Good. Well, let's
Yeah.
hear them. That sounds great.
All
Thanks.
right.
I feel so lonely tonight.
And now we're in room 1, which I also call the big room. It is a rather large room. As you know, Howard, you've been here a few times. I mean, we are 35 feet long. We're 21 wide. We're 12 foot high. And here we put the top of the line statement speaker of Vivid Audio in here. This is the Gia G1 Spirit. This is the Spirit. Pull the sound, and we have clearly a reference system in here. We've got the big Kronos Discovery system, AudioNet's flagship. We're bi-amping with Heisenberg's. We do have the amazing Tambaki. I just got last week the Grimm MU1 streamer. This is what we're playing in here.
Okay.
It's absolutely blown me away. Awald was telling me a year ago to do it, and finally I stepped up to the plate. But in 1 month we've sold 22.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome. Great.
so the clients have stepped up as well, and we're improving everybody's sound.
And what's the retail price on the G1s?
G1 Spirits are $95,000.
Okay. So roughly we're probably talking about $500,000 system, more?
Yeah, with cables, which it's all realization cables, we're running long cables. We're probably at $700,000.
And just looking again at maybe you could just take us through really quick what we have here, because this is a nice looking.
Real quick,
gear.
yes. We've got the AudioNet Plunk CD player. We've got the AudioNet Ampere power supply, which is an option for the Plunk. Down here we've got the Mola Mola Tambaki DAC.
Okay.
And then down here is the Grimm MU1, which is a streamer. It's a Rune core. It's a Rune endpoint. Phenomenal piece. Here we've got the AudioNet Stern.
Which is that the...
That's the line stage.
Right.
Yep. And it's a huge line stage, but there is no empty space in there.
Okay.
Here we have the AudioNet PAM G2 phono stage with an AudioNet Ampere optional power supply for the phono stage. Then we have the Kubala-Sosna expander power distribution unit. So the whole front end is being run by that.
Right.
If I come over here, we've got the Kronos Discovery turntable with the Kronos Discovery RS. RS stands for Resonant Suppressor Tone Arm. Down here we've got the Discovery Super Capacitor Power Supply, which is an option, and that runs, it's a 2-chassis unit. So the super caps are up here, and then the power supply for the super caps is down there. Then we have the Kronos Phono Stage, which is also a 2-box unit. We have the front end with the power supply.
What do you think is a rough guess on the retail value of the Kronos stuff?
The Kronos is over 200K. Right at 200K before we add a cartridge.
Okay, so we're clearly in statement territory here.
Yes, everything in this room is certainly not the most expensive you can spend. In fact, GTT's motto is to offer a value at its price point. But I truly believe that everything that we have here is the best that money can buy.
Fantastic. Well, let's hear it.
Let's do it.
So once again, if you like what you're seeing, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button and leave comments below. Let us know what you're thinking. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.